Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig through the boring stuff so you don't have to. Today we are diving into a shareholder report, and things are about to get wilder because this investment company changed accounting firms in the middle of the year. Sounds like drama in the finance world. This annual shareholder report for December 31, 2024 reveals what's been happening with the New Age Alpha Variable Funds Trust. This isn't about just one company, but a collection of funds, each with its own investment style. We'll take a peek at a few of them, like the NAA All Cap Value Series, the NAA Large Cap Value Series, and the NAA Large Core Series, as well as other funds. The report covers the period from January 1, 2024 to the end of February 2025. They are pushing that timeframe to next year. I wonder why. Anyway, shareholders are encouraged to get more information from their website or by calling them. Let's talk money. For the NAA All Cap Value Series, costs of a $10,000 investment is $88, which is 0.84%. This shows how much of your investment goes towards running the fund. It's important to check this number when you are investing. Looking at performance, the fund returned 10.25%, but it didn't beat its benchmark, the S&P 1500 Value Index, which had a 12.15% return. They're reorganizing one of the Guggenheim series into this fund. That's how they are planning to boost profits. They successfully reorganized the Guggenheim series into the fund and implemented their investment strategy. However, they note that the manager wasn't in place for most of 2024, so they can't really comment on why the fund performed that way. Here is a chart going back 10 years. If you invested in the fund back in 2014, you would have $22,700 in December 2024. It is important to compare it to the Russell 3000 Value Index and the S&P Composite 1500 Value Index. The S&P actually had a higher total amount than this fund during that time, meaning you are losing out on some money by staying with the fund. Here are the average annual total returns for 1, 5, and 10-year performance. Their 1 year is 10.25%, their 5 year is 8.87%, and their 10 year is 8.54%. Keep in mind that past performance does not equal future predictions. Switching over to some statistics, the NAA All Cap Value Series has net assets of $89,880,275 with 201 holdings. The advisory fee is $382,069, and the portfolio turnover is 12%. Most of the fund's investments are in common stocks. The sector weightings of the investments include 21.5% in financials, 12.7% in industrials, and 12.4% in healthcare, plus smaller allocations across other sectors. This tells you where the fund is allocating its resources, because different sectors perform differently. The top 10 holdings include big names like Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan Chase, and ExxonMobil. Each of these holdings makes up a relatively small portion of the fund's total assets. Here comes the tea. Ernst & Young resigned as the independent registered public accounting firm on December 3, 2024, and the audit committee approved Cohen & Company Limited to take over. They mentioned there were no disagreements with EY. Sounds like it was a smooth, though unexpected, transition. This annual shareholder report can be found on their website, which has their prospectus, financial information, holdings, and proxy voting information. Now let's move on to a few other funds and do some quick look-throughs to give you a comparison. The expenses for the Large Cap Value Series is $81 on a $10,000 investment, and they returned 13.46%. That outperformed the S&P 500 Value Index. However, they did not outperform their benchmark index, Russell 1000 Value Index, which returned 14.37%. They mentioned they are also reorganizing with a series of a Guggenheim series, and they are using the same strategy as the previous fund. This fund has net assets of $198,674,018, so a little more than the last fund, with 100 holdings. Their top 10 holdings are mostly the same as the last fund with Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan Chase, and ExxonMobil. Their 10-year total return is about $23,362 compared to the S&P 500 total return at $25,950. The Large Cap Value Fund underperformed as well. Let's look at the Large Core Series now. They returned 25.88%, outperforming the fund's benchmark, the S&P 500 index, which returned 25.02% during the same period. This fund did outperform the S&P, that's awesome. This fund is quite large at $254,631,207 in net assets. Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft are their top 3 holdings. Finally, the large growth series underperformed both the S&P 500 growth and the Russell 1000 growth index at 32.18% compared to 36.04% and 33.36% respectively. For the last 10 years, it has $43,484 compared to $47,152 in the Russell 1000 growth total return. Scroll advisory fees paid amped, scale equals 0. Unit ref equals USD 186,759 /non-fraction /span/span/.